Welcome to today's show. It is a special tribute, a community tribute. Join me as I come out here in Phoenix City to pay tribute to a man that has been serving Phoenix City for a very long time. I love this, so we're going to take you inside to this surprise tribute. He knows someone is coming to interview him, but he doesn't know all in depth what it is. We're going to award him for his many years of service and his leadership here in Phoenix City. You're watching it on CTV Bean.
I am Minister Christopher Godwin, and I just want to share how Dr. Raymond Cochran has impacted my life. I've known him all of my life, and he has been the only pastor that I've known. He's the pastor that baptized me, he's the pastor that married me, he's the pastor that licensed me to preach, ordained me. He's also the pastor that married me. He's the pastor that dedicated my one and only child. And he has impacted my life in so many ways. He has given me a wealth of knowledge that would carry me throughout my life. And I just want to say that he has been a jewel to me, and anything that I can do for him, I try to do it because he has been so good to me.
So, welcome back to today's show. It is a special community tribute. So, we are in Phoenix City, and many of you know the gentleman that we're going to pay tribute to, but I just want you to wait and see when we get inside. All right. So we're walking inside now, and he's and here he goes. Look, but yeah. Oh, you're fine. We're here to. All right. Well, thank you for your time. When you don't sit down and sleep, well, I want to let you know we're rolling the cameras, but we're here to pay tribute to you for your service in the community. So I know they told you someone was going to come and interview you, but we're actually coming to pay tribute to you for your many years in the community. And I've been wanting to come here for a long time. Yeah, so we're going to let everyone know that are watching. We're here, of course, at Franchise with Dr. Raymond Cochran. So when we come back, we're going to get a chance to sit down and talk with him and thank him for his many, many years here in Phoenix City. Stay tuned. You're watching it here on CTV Bean.
I would just like to say they know him as Reverend Raymond Cochran, but he is daddy to me. How has he impacted my life? Let me just tell you, I have three beautiful, successful kids, all graduated from college. And I must say, they are doing great. Why is that? That is because, well, not because of Pastor Raymond Cochran. That's because of Daddy Cochran. You know, a lot of people, they think that they know the pastor. They do in the pulpit. They know him in the community. But we always wonder about our leaders. What kind of person are they at home? When you see Daddy, you see him in the little white t-shirts and the overalls in the garden, and you wonder if he's the same way in that garden or at home with us on Sundays after church. I can promise you he is. And I am 53 years old, and my youngest son, Raymond III, he's 22 now. And everything that I've tried to instill in my son, Raymond, every single phase, everything that I've gone through, my father shared it with me. And of course, one thing that the community does not know, and that is from the perspective of a pastor's son. Yes, he missed a lot of our games. He missed a lot of events. But every night after visiting the hospitals, he was home. He was a part of every decision. And for that, I am grateful to Daddy.
Welcome back to today's show. We are here at Franchise in the office of Dr. Raymond Cochran. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Cochran.
Thank you.
You are a blessed man.
I have to agree with that.
Amen.
God has done great things.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, we're here paying tribute because franchise is a pillar in the community. Franchise has done so many great things in the community. And you have exemplified strong leadership. So I'm going to read to you what this is. It's a community tribute awarded to Dr. Raymond Cochran at Franchise Missionary Baptist Church for serving Phoenix City and the surrounding areas for over 50 years. Thank you for leading the way, Dr. Cochran. Isn't that a thank you?
Thank you so much.
Praise God. So this is for you, and we want to, I just been wanting to come here and have this conversation with you for a very long time. And I will say Judge Bellamy was on my show a couple of months back when he was interviewing for Tuskegee. They had a fundraiser that was going on, and he had mentioned that, and he loves you, Pastor. Judge Bellamy, he was sharing about how Pastor Cochran was going to have his 50th year anniversary, and he was inviting everybody to come out. And I said, I got to get out there and do this tribute. So me and Miss Jackson, I think that's your secretary.
That's right.
Yeah, we have been missing one another, playing phone tag, and so we eventually caught up. And I said, I have to do this because Dr. Cochran has been such a blessing in the community. And when I saw you at Gaines Chapel when they did the fashion show a few months ago, and I talked with you. Now it's coming, coming back to you, and I talked to you. And you said something so profound at the end of that fashion show. You said, the church got to open their doors. We got to stop closing the doors. And I said, that is so right, Pastor Cochran.
I did.
You said that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's why I remember you now.
Now you remember me now? And I'm going to tell you, actually, I've known you since I was a young teenager.
All right.
A young teenager. I'm going to call out some names and then you tell me if you remember them, and I know you probably will. Eva Lee Williams. Remember her?
Sure.
That was my mother-in-law.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Miss William was that family was great member of this church.
Yes.
She gone to be with the Lord.
Absolutely.
She was a worker.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And so are you. Pastor Cochran, I saw you when you pulled up. You're driving a nice big red truck. And you said this is what a cowboy drives, right?
Yes, ma'am. Country boy.
You're a country boy.
You will never get the country. I mean, I've been everywhere preaching.
Yes, right.
And I tell them where I'm from in the beginning. From the farm up in Salem, you know where the place?
Yes,
Look
sir.
up the highway called Salem.
Yes, sir.
Walk out your high school, turn on that road and go as far down as that road will go to the creek. That's where I was born.
Really?
And I can't be nothing but I signed my mail just Raymond. That's all I want to be.
Wow.
Raymond. From that farm. And I don't want to get away from that in my bringing up, because I'll be 84 years old in a few days.
Okay.
And you know how many times I've been in jail?
How many?
Once.
Once.
That's when the march was going on. And I was at Selman University. I had to go to that school because I had no money, there. I wasn't in the march. I was at the march.
Yes, sir.
And they dismissed school while we come there and see the crowd. And we stand up on the bank. And several other guys They say, hey, you boys up there, come here. And they put us in and carried us to Uniontown, the jail, and let me stay there about 30 minutes, and they let us out. You heard what I said. I was at the march, but I wasn't in it.
That's right.
But I felt the results
Yes, sir.
from that, and I tell it everywhere I go because it's something I'd never seen.
Yeah.
But when they let me out of jail in Uniontown at Domino Selma, I come back to Selma and got my 41 Chevrolet and had to push it off the cranky. I come out and down because I knew my mama would tear me up. So I'm never, and that being, I thank God
Yes.
for how I was brought up.
Yes.
If somebody have something you won't ask for,
That's right.
and they say yes, you got that. No, let it alone. You know, all that. I guess mom and dad was so back and down in the woods. We were so ignorant that we thought we had to do what was right. I thought I had to work for a living. You know, I know that's somebody gonna look at me and say, that man crazy. I still got a God. I have to work.
Yeah.
I work for a living. And that means I'm not ashamed to tell folks where I'm from. My mom and dad both passed away. But they'll live in me as long as I live, because what they taught me down in London, what I learned up at Walkucha High, those little schools. See, it's not what school you attend, it's who go there.
Yeah.
What you know, I don't have to be from the biggest school in the world to learn and do what thus says the Lord.
That's right.
That's what brought me. My parents was God-fearing people. And they didn't believe in spanking. They believed in getting a hickory switch out of a breastbone. If you did wrong, you got a whipping. You know, I'm not I don't understand society. Now I'm talking about whooping make a child nervous. Look, I straight up, I'm 84 years, I ain't nervous. I'm blessed because somebody disciplined. Now, I'm not saying knock him in the head
That's right.
and put him in the hospital. But when you don't have discipline, I have a couple of daughters teaching school, and they come tell me I couldn't teach 1 minute when I couldn't tell nobody to sit down and shut up. If I couldn't tell, how you going to teach? I don't understand this. And this is why God has left me. I'm the only pastor left. All churches got new pastors. And I'm still here. And these are the best people. Judge Bellamy was quite a boy when I got here.
Wow.
I saw him grow. I could just name all of them. They all grew, and they went to school, and I thank God for them, because they're just like my children. Now, Mary and I, you didn't ask for this, I better tell you, Mary and I have 8 children.
8 children.
6 daughters and 2 sons. And my wife and I worked to send them to school.
Praise God.
And let me send a message to the other.
Yes, sir.
I don't care how big a car you riding in.
Yes, sir.
If your children is ignorant, you need to get out of it. You need to send your children to school, or they're not going to be able to get no job. Nothing but flipping hamburgers. You can't go on vacation and live comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm not, look, I love
I hear
hamburgers. I love the people. Hamburger man and I are very good friends. And I told him, he said, Raymond, you want a job? I said, no, you don't pay quite enough for me, but I like to eat the hamburger.
Yes.
So that's who I am. I'm Raymond.
I hear what you're saying. You sacrificed to get your children that education. And And that's what I believe he's sharing with, you know, parents and those that are watching, because the parenting is different now than it was then when you all were parenting your children. And we want to encourage them. That's why I'm having this conversation with you, because you're pouring out wisdom. And when people look at you, they'll see wisdom. And I've seen people, another successful member from here, Eric McQuarrie, Ann McQuarrie's son. That's my husband cousin. He's my cousin. So I know you're proud of him. He's an attorney as well now.
He's right.
Uh-huh.
Right. I helped him when he was a baby. That makes me feel good when I see the young people go up and work and really do something.
Yes.
And that's what young boy, his mother and father both passed away.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, when his mother passed, her dad kept paying her tithe. Yeah, he always bring her tithe to the church. And they always, when I met him, he thanked me for encouraging him. And so many other young people. Now let me be fair with you.
Yes, sir.
All of them didn't follow my advice.
Yes, sir.
And there's consequences
Yes.
when you don't follow. It's two roads in life. Okay, I was showing them, and I lived that road. And when they got out of the path, there was consequences. And I'm telling you now, if you don't want to listen at me, listen at somebody that's telling you what to do. I'm talking to young folk now.
Okay.
It just grieved me to see our young people killing each other, robbing.
Yes, sir.
Can't somebody like Mama is dead now, but she lived with me. Can't somebody tell those folk that's not the way in life? Can anybody tell them the old ignorant way I was? My mom and dad told me, boy, if you want something, get up and work for it. Go to work. You will be respected. God, we came up on the farm.
Yes.
And 5:30, you were told to get up one time. And if you didn't get up that time, they had something in their hand. It was a switch. Wasn't no light switch either. It was that same switch. They pull that cover off you and give you something. And next morning, okay, get up. Boy, you'd be up. Look, it's bad. I was in a certain store, and I saw something that I want to tell y'all. It was about during Christmas holiday, and a lady had her child, and she wanted a pair of shoes that I never knew. The people didn't know that she wasn't able to get. That little girl did her mama like this. It hurt me so bad, I forgot what I went in the store for. I left that store and I cried about it. Because I knew for myself where that child was headed. That child is headed, and if she's not there now, she talked to her mama like she was another person. And the Bible said, honor this is what I give my longevity to. Honor your father and mother, that your days may be long up on the land with the Lord thy God. Give it thee. That's the first step.
Yes.
I'm bearing too many young people. I'm bearing too many children the age of my children.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're going too soon.
Yes, sir.
Somebody, I appreciate y'all for letting me express
Absolutely.
myself. Somebody need to get you. Look, the government has so done with the school, you can't say nothing. I wouldn't. Look, I want you to catch this. I'd rather ply a mule than to go teach school.
Wow.
I feel sorry for my daughters and everybody else.
Educators,
Because
yeah.
you can't teach nobody if you can't tell them to sit down. How you going to teach somebody, and how can I preach to the folk every Sunday? And they're up. I can't say, hey, Usher. If the children, I got people that tell them, you got to behave yourself. Well, when you can't tell people to behave yourself, how can they learn? No, I'm qualified to teach too old. But I go back to Lee County and ply and farm. That's a job I couldn't handle. I couldn't handle nothing if I can't, if I can't tell something what to do. Even the mule would obey you. Tell him how, well, he go to the left. Tell him J, he go to the right. Tell him whoa. You can't. And if the mule didn't do it, you pull the line and holler at him. He'll shake. Even the mule, I had more control over the mule than folk have on their children right now. And they are dying too quick. And God knows I love everybody. But somebody needs to come out and tell the truth. Now, I wasn't good all the time. That's where Mama came in. That's where Dad came in. And if she asked me, we went in a watermelon patch. And the man saw us and came and told Mama. She asked me, did you go in the watermelon patch? No, and I said, no ma'am, Mama.
Respect.
Okay, but what I'm trying to tell you, Mama knew better. And I got too whooping. I told Mama a lie. And I ain't talking about that spanking. I'm talking about with that bread broom. Then she whipped me for going in the watermelon patch. Why would I? That's the devil. We would have the porch, the front porch of our house would be just full of watermelon. We would give them away and could just eat one anytime I got ready. Why would I? Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Why would I want to go in another? We had some great, big, nice watermelon.
Wow.
Had so many. We had a knife where they could cut them and throw them in the hog pen. Anybody come out there and get them a watermelon. And I think that's what Mama never told me. I think that's why she whipped me. Why wouldn't I go? But it would just look like my Uncle Frank watermelon looked like were bigger or better than I. That was the devil. I suppose Mama had said, come on, baby. You still my baby. No, she didn't pat me up. She gave me a whooping, a good whoop, 2 whoopings I got.
She corrected you.
She corrected me. That's what. I guess I've told you. Anything else you want to know about me?
We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to hear from some of your loved ones. And then I have something else to share with you about someone that said something about you in the community. You're watching it here on cable TV. It's a community tribute to Dr. Raymond Cochran here at Franchise Missionary Baptist Church in Phoenix City.
My grandfather, Raymond Cochran, is an important, loving, caring man. My father, Raymond Cochran Jr., is a loving, caring man. Me, Raymond Cochran III, that just leaves me just being the man. But what I meant by that is this name is special. And it's special because my grandfather made it special.
We're back with Dr. Raymond Cochran here at Franchise Missionary Baptist Church. We want to thank him. He is pouring out so much love and wisdom and education and history. Brought me tears to my eyes a couple of times. Dr. Cochran, I want to thank you again for just sharing your heart with the people. And I believe that any parent that want, or anybody in the community that want to see our young people do better and have better, make wiser choices. I believe what you shared was a cry out from your heart to the people. Yeah. And I pray that somebody get it and do something with it, because it breaks my heart too to see so many young people that we're seeing leaving. I heard you during the break, you mentioned about you're going to start writing your life story.
Yeah.
I love that. So you've been had traveled many journeys. I mean, many different directions. You've been a lot of different places. You've helped a lot of other young people in the community. You've been a leader to probably hundreds and thousands of people. What will be a part of your life story? I mean, that for people that don't know you.
Well, it's just simple. I've been a preacher since I was quite a boy. I came from ragtime, I told you that. And I know God called me to do this. And I thought he should have gotten somebody else that had something, because for the preachers, I want to let them know that I didn't start at large churches. I pastored churches down in the woods. And I'm not going to call the name because I don't want to think they, but I was getting very little money. Sometimes I didn't get anything. Had about 12 members and a couple of deacons. And one of the deacons was half crazy. And when he got the money, I didn't get nothing. I didn't get anything because I was afraid of it. But I stayed there. I never asked nobody to use my name in a call and all that kind of stuff. I figured if I would, God called me, God would place me. God moved me from that church that was up in Chambers County. I went on further. Roanoke, Alabama. Lineville. Lineville is in Clay County, about 30 miles from Talladega. And those was very large church, large membership. A lot of trained folk within that area. Mm-hmm. And the preachers told me, say, you ain't gonna get along with those folk. I had the best time with those people were trained. Yes. I tell you what, the worst thing you can find in a church, listen at this close, is mass ignorance. Take that from, I've been all these years, I've been pastoring about 67 years.
67?
The ignorance is just as bad as sin in a church. And I was told that a lot of trained folk ain't gonna look, you aren't gonna be able to get along with them. Because you don't have enough education. Never had a cross word with those people. Because I want to tell you, people who are trained and saved, if you show them you know where you're going, they'll follow you. But ignorant people, it's hard for you to show them that. And I'm repeating, ignorant is a sin. When you gotta, when you gotta tolerate things that does not exist. Now, I left there, and I was LaGrange, Georgian pastor. And every time I left, the people were crying because I was leaving, because I got along with the people. Why would I? 1 Corinthians chapter 6 said, dare interview to go to court with any man. And I want to send this out. This church, they never voted on me here, 51 years. But if they don't want me, 10 chapter Matthew, I believe in the Bible, said, you go to a place and they don't want you, leave and shake the dust off your feet. I wouldn't even turn around, and I wouldn't lower myself to go to court with God's church. Shame on you. If you go to court and God is the judge there, I don't need to stand before a judge. Just shake the dust off your feet, go about the business. God will, if I'm right, God will handle that. Yeah. That's not my job. He didn't tell me to come go and straighten. I go and preach to them. If they don't hear it, leave. Now, I had one in a church. I'm not gonna call away that I preached at a lot of churches. I just married, and I thought I had to do my wife like Daddy did Mama. And let me plug something there. That reason so many boys beating up wives, cause he see it at home. Wow. You know, my daddy, if Mama told Daddy, that boy been cutting up since you been gone. Boy, you been worrying ain't not my mama no more. He's his wife. He gonna get you sure enough. I just married, and after we preached, they called a meeting, and I went to tell them what I had in mind. And a man in the church told me, said, "Look now, I'm a head deacon here. There's no such a thing as a head deacon in the church. All the heads, just one. We are all one in the spirit." Yes. So I went to talking and told him I was the pastor, and he told me to sit down in front of my wife. No, you can't do that. You can't talk to me in front of my wife. Because I just married her, and her daddy told him, said, "Boy, if you can't take care of my daughter, I'll come back and get her." And I loved that girl. It wasn't no play love. I was young boy, but I still have that same wife. But I almost hit that man because he spoke to me ugly in front of my wife. And I told him, because I left the church, and they came. I was living in the valley, a place called Riverview, Alabama. Wow. Them little 2-room house. And all the people came down. I said I wasn't going back. But the Lord whipped me. And I went back. And the man that said those things to me begged my pardon in front of the people. And I stayed there until I moved here. Now, that's the only time I had a break in. But when I came here, I put that in front. You can talk about me, but I'll get you about Mary. My wife named Mary. You ain't called Mary here. You called me. Talk about me. I quit preaching and get you about my wife and family. You can't come to my house. That's the way I was real. You can't come to my house with profane words. I had a fella come to the house selling some stuff, and he used the profane word there. I thought, no. I said, you're going to have to leave here, because I don't use profanity around my family and my wife. Children all heard it. I said, now you're going to have to leave. And my wife saw I had changed. I angered. And she said, "Mister, you sure better go, 'cause my husband ain't playing. Said, you need to leave me. 'Cause you know what? I'm glad he left. What I'm saying, folk will allow you, folk will do what you allow them to. You can't,
Yeah.
nobody can come where I live.
Dr. Cochran, I hear you talking about how you, respecting your wife and others respect your wife. I love that. Do you think men are carrying that level of respect for their wives like that today? Because you know, you and your wife, Miss Cochran, been married for about how long now?
68 years.
68 years. That's a blessing. And she is still so beautiful.
She is.
He said, yes, she is. She is still so beautiful. Um, I want you to help men today, younger men, because it's different. Um, you know, when I was raised, you know, my father shared with me, a man is going to take care of home. He's going to, you know, go out and work. If he had to work more than one job, he did what he had to do to take care of home.
Amen.
He made sure that home was taken care of. Do you see that we're having a lack of that with the generation of men today? Because now it's more women working more, you know, and the men at home. I want you to help them.
Well, I don't like it, and God don't like it. That the man staying at home seeing after the baby and the woman out working. Now, a lot of that going on now.
Yes.
And I preach this from the pulpit, and a lot of people have heard this. They've heard me say this. It is one of the shamefulest things when I see a man marry somebody's daughter. I told you I had 6 of them grown. Mm-hmm. And I look at other folks' daughters like they're mine. And she has to do the work. And he ride around a car that she's paying on. No, that's ungodly. That is ungodly. And I didn't do that. My daddy didn't do it. I'm glad of it. Folk called me henpecked. Because when it was cold weather, we had to wash out. There wasn't nothing like washing machines and things like that. But Mama taught the boy to do everything in the house. I can cook, wash on a rubber, and taught the girl to do everything outside. So it wasn't to me. I had, by the way, I had a job at West Point Manufacturing, the cotton mill. Yeah. You know why I worked there?
Yes.
Because Mary had babies. And I didn't want her on no job. Because I didn't want no man telling Mary what to do. So I pastored the church, and I worked in the cotton mill and went to school.
Praise God.
And cold days, I get out there on that rubber, make me a fire around the pot, and wash those clothes. I wash diapers. You know, we have throwaway diapers now.
Yeah.
I washed them and thought nothing of it. See, the young men, the babe is much yours as it is mama. And I saw a man, the babe needed changing. And he handed the baby to her. You know, I almost hit him myself. He couldn't change his baby.
Yeah.
Don't you know those are my children? And to answer your question, no, I don't appreciate it. I don't like it. I love everybody. Mm-hmm. But every time I get the opportunity to counsel somebody, to marry, I tell a young man, if you don't want to take care of her, don't marry. let her alone. I'd rather you, because that's what I tell. I told all the boys that married my daughter, I showed them where they slept. I said, now when you get tired of taking care of her, bring her back to marry me. We'll take care of her. It just offer what, and I, don't get me wrong, I love everybody, but it's just, God is not pleased with that. A man must provide for his family, and that says it all. Whatever they need.
There's a blessing when it's in order, you know. How, when it lines up with the Word of God, there's a blessing. That's why, you know, you're blessed. You're blessed with longevity, and I do believe that because that's how I was taught. And my husband and I can see by abiding to the Word of God and making sure our marriage is lined up with the Word of God.
Right.
There's a blessing that comes with that.
And you don't do that. That's I don't believe God is pleased with a man striking his wife. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't want my car beat up. I take my time parking my truck because my wife I picked out her car. She and my daughter picked that truck out. And I sure wouldn't have a person that I'm sleeping with scars. Oh, you ever thought about that? Now you put scars. I wake up at night and she is sleeping, and I gotta look at those scars. No, that couldn't be. I think it ought to be now, maybe, and I said this in the pulpit. If Mary needed whooping, Mary did. I didn't do it. Now, here's the reason. Let me tell you one reason, because it's right. Next thing, that's your children's mother. Okay? I'm my mama's youngest child, baby. And I love the way mama went. And I could just, I could love Daddy when he put his arm around, tell Lucille, that was her name, I love you. Yeah. Oh, that was so good to see that. All right, I wanted to be like that.
Okay.
With my, now, suppose Dad had hit mama or dogged her. If I didn't hit him back, I sure wouldn't forget. I wouldn't like him. See, that caused tension. Mm-hmm. That's those children, mama, you hitting.
Wow. I hope that
and you hear what I'm saying, boys? Yeah. Young men.
Don't put
you
your
hitting
hands
somebody's
on.
Mama.
Yeah.
And you know that everybody have a mother. And I don't have to explain that.
That's right.
If you love, I love my mother, then those children love theirs.
Well, so, I got a couple of more questions because I know you got an appointment, but what would you like to share with the young ladies? Because in my time, my grandmother taught me, and because I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, about being a young lady, how to carry yourself. I just, because you've seen various generations. You have been in ministry. You've been here in Phoenix City 51 years, been preaching for 67 years. So you've seen quite a few generations. I want to be able to help save this generation that we see today. You've shared some great words of encouragement for our young men. What would you like to say to the daughters, these young ladies?
Young ladies, thank you. You don't have to be nothing but an intelligent, nice young lady, dressed nice, Don't go out in the street half naked. Now that might look good to some men, but I don't even look at a person. If I'll catch one of my daughters and they're educated going out half naked, I would get them, and I would, you would never. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. You put your clothes on, not only them.
Yeah.
While I'm on this, I think men ought to put their clothes on right. Now, he don't have to have a suit on,
Yeah.
but I do despise, and I meant that, a man or a woman half dressed. When he can do this,
Yes, sir.
I was taught my clothes. If you see me working in the garden, my clothes is on me. Anybody don't wear their clothes right, they are insane. It's crazy. They are insane. You remember how they were streaking on the college campus? Mm-hmm. And I was on a panel in Cleveland, Ohio. So, well, Cochran, one thing about it. I said, well, I tell you what. When they gave me, I had surgery, I had a gallbladder removed. And they had me in the waiting room and, recovery room.
Yes, sir.
And I was about to wake up, but the nurse in the recovery room, you have that gown on. Mm-hmm. She pulled that gown up, and I saw it was a woman. I did this. Know what I heard her say? She told the doctor, say, he's all right. In other words, she said, he back to his senses. Mm-hmm. When I see somebody think you looking good, and think if it's a young lady, think you can attract a man, you would never attract a man like me. I look around the other way. I wouldn't have you on a Christmas tree. The way you dress and loud and smoking cigarette. No, you need to act intelligent. Look, I'm very emotional, but I mean what I say. Yeah. And I ain't trying to buddy with nobody. You need to dress. Don't let Hollywood set your style. Yes. I don't care what others do. Yes. If you're a young lady going somewhere and mean something, because let me tell you this, if I had a job hiring you and you came to my office at a job, I wouldn't hire you for nothing till you go home and put your clothes on right. How you gonna help somebody? And it just, you need to hear what I'm saying. You don't have to do that together, man. Just be intelligent.
And what he's saying, and I hear what you're saying, presentation is everything. That first impression is always that last impression. The way you carry yourself is you're going to attract what people see. And I hear exactly what you're saying. And this is good wisdom poured out to some, young ladies, men, and adults, Dr. Cochran, also during a break, you mentioned something about you wanted to share from your heart to preachers, because now we have a new wave of generation of pastors and preachers now. What would you like from your many years of experience? You've been a mentor to a lot of pastors. There's a lot of pastors look up to you. What would you like to share from your heart to them?
Okay, when you go to a church, if you don't have a wife, you ought to get you one. That's one.
Wow.
All right, get your wife. I don't care how low your money get. Don't borrow no money from the church.
That's good advice.
That's not, the church is not a money loan. When the deacon asks you, you all right? If things going rough, he say, I'm all right. Wow. Go somewhere else. Never show favoritism to nobody. All the members in the church love them. The next thing you don't never join in an argument. Because those folk at that church been arguing way before you got there. And they're going to be arguing when you gone. That's favoritism and that same thing. Next thing you don't do. Because you're the pastor, never get up and say it in a boisterous way. I'm the pastor of this church. They call you. They know you. What you going to do that for? But speak kind words to everybody. And after a while, those folk gonna carry you through something. See, do you really mean it? After a while, they'll love you. Speak kind words to those who live across the track, to the babe. Give the baby candy. Love the family. And if you do that, God will bless you. And you aren't going to have no smooth sail to start with. Because Jesus didn't have a smooth. We followed the fella was crucified. That's one for Jesus. Mm-hmm. Now, you don't need to be the biggest. Well, let me put it this way. You don't need to have the last word in an argument. You don't need to have that. Do you know the best control a leader can do? This go for the preacher, the president, anybody. Is control your tongue. That thing can get you in more trouble than you ever could get in a church and anywhere else. I've been leading and a lot of other things. But never let nobody drag you low enough to speak ugly to them. Wow. That's one thing I want to. I don't care how they speak. Mm-hmm. You control. Three things I want to tell them. Yes, sir. Know yourself, control yourself, and deny yourself. You remember I just told you about what happened when the man told me to sit down? Mm-hmm. I was about to run out of control. Mm-hmm. Suppose I had hit that man, and I had the nerve to do it.
You had some self-control, though.
I had self. You got to know yourself. Mm-hmm. I know I would have hit it. So I let myself. Right. I had to spank Raymond on the hand. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. Wow. So I'm leaving that with them. You can get along with anybody if you try. When they do you wrong, I've been mistreated a lot of times. You do them right. And you see what'll happen. After a while, people when they want to fight, he want to fight, want to be fought. A fight means two people, right? Mm-hmm. Well, if he fight, let him fight, don't you? Yeah. When you know where you going, you don't run out of facts. When it's time for you to speak, you speak. Yeah. But you got to have some intelligent words and go on with the program. If it's in your conference, somebody that's want to get at you, let them talk. Yeah. When they get through talking, okay, thank you very much. Next thing on the agenda.
Okay.
I said,
that's good. That's good.
You can't outrun an argument. You can't make a person love you, but you can act in a way that God will have that same person. My sister worked in Fieldcrest Mill when I first moved here. And there was a lady and her working together. She said, that new pastor at franchise, I don't like him. My sister said, well, why you don't like him? So I don't know why, I just don't like him. Well, when getting off time, they working on the first shift, get off 3 o'clock. Mm-hmm. She called her later and they were cleaning up, close to getting off. She said, you know that young Pastor Frank. Yeah, she thought it gonna say, that's my baby brother. She told me, oh no. She said that lady ran it. I didn't mean, my sister just kept walking. Sometimes you can whip a person. Silent is golden. When you settle down, that's what the preacher have to do. He preached the gospel. Sit down.
I met Pastor Cochran some 40 years ago in this very building. He was preaching the first Sunday in May 1980, and that's the Sunday that I joined this church. And ever since I joined, I never regretted it, not one moment. Our pastor is a pastor that can walk with kings and never lose the common touch. And by that I mean that he's for the little man as well as he can be with the big man, but he's down to earth with his common members also. Whenever you need him, he's there for you. I remember my sister was in the hospital in Opelika, and I called him because I had to make a decision. And before I could get to make the decision, he was right there helping us make the decision. He come visit you whenever you're in the hospital. He come visit you at your home. Very dynamic preacher. Know the word. When I say he knows the word. And when he doesn't mind teaching the word, he doesn't mind preaching the word, and he doesn't mind telling you when you're doing something that you know you're not supposed to be doing. We love Pastor Cochran, and like I say, we've been knowing him for a long time, and we just love him. Don't want no other pastor other than Pastor Cochran. We love him dearly. Thank you.
Well, that's a message for everybody too, what you just said, because every battle is, you shouldn't have to try to fight every battle that comes your way. And I love that because, even people that are in leadership, I think that will be a great principle as well, because when you're leading people, one of my pet peeves, I think, and I'll share, and I'll ask you to expound on that. One of the things that bother me is when people are in leadership and how they'll abuse leadership. And what would you say for, like, if people that are, because being out in the community, I hear a lot of various things that people share, but what would you encourage people that are in leadership, how to treat people? I believe in the golden rule. That's why you're so blessed. You believe in the golden rule. You treated people the way you wanted to be treated. But I want to help other people that may be elevated. God may elevate you in higher power, but then you still have to be conscientious about how you treat people. Because, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's just this simple. Never put yourself above anybody else.
Ooh, that's good, Pastor.
Never put yourself, if that person down, if they made a foreman out of me in the mill, you know what I do? See, I know how to run those things. I see a man behind, I get there with him, catch him. I'm supposed to be his boss. But you know what? The white and the black was just crazy about me, because you know what? I was just Raymond.
That's right.
And the man put me there, and I knew the work. I knew when a man was behind, I could run any job in that cotton mill. I'd fall in there if he needs some end tied or whatever out. He was behind. I'd jump in there and catch him up. I'm not your boss. I told him something. Look, I'm not your boss. That man has got me looking over the job. Your boss, there he is there. Told me in front of the boss, I know I ain't your boss. I'm working here just like you. And when I had to leave, they didn't fire me, because I did what he told me to do. I was always on time. The people, they say, we ain't never had nobody like you. Common sense will tell you, as you would that men do to you, do ye likewise. That to go, do unto others as you have them to do unto you. That works all the time. Now, here's another one they got. do it to him before he do it to you. Now that's what the young fellas
Yeah.
saying.
Uh-huh.
We don't go that way. We don't go that way. We treat folk,
Yeah.
never ever get above one of the richest, I'm not going to call the company name, one of the richest companies around here. One of my members was working, and when his son finished school, he put him over. And his son was just like his daddy. He was so nice to them, those people. When the son got ready to move to another job, because he had finished school and all, a lot of folk cried when he left. You don't have to punch folk to get along with them. That young man, he said, he was so intelligent, he didn't have to ask nobody hardly to do nothing. Because they were, Miss So-and-so, you want me to do something? That folk loved it. When you get folk, that's the wrongest thing a person could do. Stand up. I had a man, I saw this. Had a man on a job, and he fired everybody on money because he was about drunk. You know what? And the boss man came and fired him. Said, y'all got to do what I said do. Come with that stuff. No, you can't. You don't even, you can get more. You can catch more this flies with honey than you can with vinegar. Now I got that from Mama. You know what honey is, don't you?
Yes.
That's nothing bad. But more flies gonna be at honey. Ain't no flies flying at business. A mean attitude.
Attitude.
Your attitude determines your
Altitude.
altitude. How you treat folk.
Yes.
And I could have worked there till I retired on that job because I could get the work done, and the folk would do anything I asked them to do because we were all together. I meet some of them on the street, we talk. Love hide a multitude, and I'm leaving it with you.
Okay.
If he that loveth not, knoweth not God, for God is love. If you show love, it will come back. It might not come back now. It might be a time. But a person can't fight you when you loving him. He may fight you a while, but God is real.
Yes.
I've seen it happen. You're going to have to, so that's my word. Treat folk like you want to be treated.
Yes.
That's what made those folk and franchise church know I've done the best I could these 51 years. And a lot of times they come to me giving me things I don't even ask for. They are so nice to Mary and me and the children. The people are so nice. Pastor, they know I'm old. Pastor, if you don't feel like, let some of the other preachers preach. Now you know you can't have anything any better than that. So that gives me courage to go on and help somebody else because they take care of us. And I thank God I can say that and tell the truth.
And they love you. That's why we're here, to honor you as well. And actually, we're getting a part of your life, story as well.
I met Pastor Cochran back in 1968. He was the guest minister for Preaching Week of our revival. I accepted Christ on that Tuesday night, and I was baptized by a former pastor, Pastor Wiggins. Pastor Cochran became our pastor that same year, and because I had accepted Christ and been baptized into the franchise family, I was able to stand for him at his calling to be our pastor. What I love most about Pastor Cochran is the fact that he is a pastor. There's more to preaching than just standing up, teaching the word, sharing the word, and singing a gospel song. Pastoring requires you to take a vested interest in all the members of your congregation. I never shall forget that in the year 2002, all of my immediate family, my mother, my father, and my special needs brother all passed away. Pastor Cochran was there to support me in all of that. That's why he is my pastor. He is a family man who treats every member of the Franchise Missionary Baptist Church and the Phoenix City, Fort Benning, Columbus community as a member of his family. That's why I love him.
So before we get ready to close, you always looking good. He say he's old, but he doesn't look. He still looks young, and young at heart for sure. Are you still working in the garden?
Yes, ma'am. I always have a garden, and it did real well this year. I'm cleaning up, getting ready to plant a fall garden. You know, this is August coming in. By middle of August, I'll be ready to plant again. But everything worked well.
Praise
And
God.
guess what?
Yes.
I don't sell it. I don't plant that stuff to sell. I give it some. If somebody come by there and wants some,
Oh.
I give it to them. And I'm right side the road. I give so much. Now you know the children already gonna get there because I got a couple of deep freezers. I got to fill those deep freezers up and put some paper bags there because they coming and empty it. They gonna come get theirs. So after I do that, and I get joy out of
That's
working in because arthritis don't worry me bad when I do.
because you're
Now you
moving.
just sit in the office all the time. I don't do that. I come here. Well, I got some very fine secretaries, and when I don't feel like coming here, I just stay at home and play in the garden. And I had a bunch of horses.
Yeah,
You know,
I heard.
one attacked me, so
Oh,
I got rid of the horses. I
Yeah.
just have a donkey
okay.
out there to play with and have a dog. But I love animals.
Yeah.
I love farm life. So that's why God gave me that place out there. The people who owned that place had a farm. So the law says if somebody else buy that place, what I can't call the name of it, but I still can have stuff, any kind of animal I want,
Okay.
and it is in the city limits. So
Yeah.
that's all we have now. I had
Wonderful.
goats and dogs and had horses, had some donkeys, and that was a little too much after the horse attacked me, and I thought it was bad for me because I left to ride him, and wasn't riding them enough to keep them tame.
Yes, sir.
You have to deal with a horse every day,
Okay.
rub him,
Oh.
ride him.
Spend time with him.
Yeah, you got a horse. Now a mule is not like that, but if you don't do a horse like that, he'll get where he don't want you. He's very jealous.
Wow.
You have to love a horse. I didn't feel like going out there every morning like I should have.
Okay.
And when I got him, he attacked me.
Wow.
And I said, now what I'm gonna do is get rid of these horses.
Wow.
And that's what I did.
Well, one more thing. Someone talk about you a lot in the community, and you're one of his customers or clients, Mel Loan.
Who?
Mel Loan at the
Oh,
barbershop.
Mel is
He loves to take care of you.
Yeah, he's my barber, Mel the good barber. And his brother and him done well.
Mm-hmm.
They started a service station down there. And they a good friend of mine now. He's a member of Gang Chapel. But he comes here. He act like he's a member of this church because we get along.
Yeah.
Well, when I came here, those boys played out there in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like my own children.
Yeah.
Now that's one thing I appreciate from staying. See, not just my children, but all the folk that
Right,
age,
right.
50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
They come to me with all their problems. Or Christmas come, they gonna come by my house and give me something. Right?
Yeah.
And it's just nice. I
They
thank
love you and
God
appreciate you.
that I have lived and didn't practice no bad habit.
Yes.
See, those children grown now.
Mm,
Or use no profanity.
that's right.
When they played right out there in the yard. When they get loud, this is the old office. Well, and I love it. I just raised the windows. Okay, boy, quiet it down. They quiet down. Wasn't no playground around here.
Right.
In this yard here, where Mel and all the boys would come here and play. And then when they want some water, come get. They wanted something to eat. Would keep some bread in the kitchen. I fed them. So you see, being kind to them. I wouldn't run them away from
Right.
it. Boy would be bored.
Mm-hmm.
When they got wrong, I'd go out there and talk to them. Their mom and dad wouldn't say a word. They say, yeah, make them mine. But when they did something I thought was wrong, I'd go talk to them. I don't y'all do that. Come on back in here. They go and did that until they got grown.
Right.
And that's the reason he liked to come here, because he'll tell you now, he had some good days there. And that's the next thing, last thing I want to tell you about church. We got to open up.
Open up.
You know those people down there under the bridge, and those people who think nobody love them?
Mm-hmm.
We've got to show love.
Show love.
That's what the church don't need to stay in these four walls.
Mm-hmm.
We got to get out there and get those people off the street. It's the church's fault. It's not the city's obligation. It's ours. We all have enough influence
Yes.
to bring these folk. There's many churches here, and we feed, we pay folk light bill. The first offering we take up on Sunday is an offering for the poor. That's what the church, and we've got to get to that open door. I don't care. It does. Let me say this. It doesn't matter how you dress. Now, when you come here, we going to the store, and you're gonna be a member here. We've done this many times. I got a bunch of ladies. We go to the store and buy you a dress, a pair of pants. Same way it is with the man. Because Jesus said in the 25th chapter of Matthew, when I was naked, did you clothe me? When I was hungry, did you feed me? When I was in prison, did you come to see about? That means I know who's in jail. I get as many folk out of jail as I can. Lord, look like it don't help, because we're going to get right back in. But I'm responsible for those folk have done wrong. I mean the church. And we got to get them out and show. And I've got several people out there and showed them a better way of life, and they went on with their lives. But that's the church's duty. And we don't, a lot of folk taking missionary out of it. They need to put that back in the church. I don't care who you are. That's God's child. And God may have put that person there to see, did you mean what you said Sunday? Or you preached a good sermon Sunday. But come on, lady with 2 children, and knock on the door and says she's hungry. I ain't had no breakfast. Now I preached a good sermon yesterday, and I turned around and said, well, we don't have anything for you.
I hear you.
What you see what I'm saying? That's what has hurt the church. Cause we preach one thing
And do another.
and do another. Those folk, I don't. And then well, I've been in meetings. How come they broke? They can work like I don't ask nobody
Right.
when I give them something. I don't know why they don't have anything to eat.
I think.
But God could have
Yeah.
put me in the same shape. I'm not
Right.
so good that I had something to eat. But then I give them something to eat and won't question. And God had blessed. God make my cup run over, car. I ought not. Some have got me. I've been got. What I mean
That's
by
all right.
got
Yeah.
is I've given people checks and they go and cash them over to that store. You know what I'm talking about. Because that time check was coming back.
Right.
And some of the folk would have and say, well, we got check come from 660 place. Well, person say he's going to the grocery store and buy something to eat. They'd have some petty cash. And I was so gentle and so kind. They had to stop that. They had to stop me. I was giving to I can't say no. They said, I'll tell you what, we need to change that.
Yeah.
So I got a committee,
That's good.
and they come when they get from work. And if somebody, I tell them to wait till 3 or 4 o'clock, whatever time they be here. See what they need, and they give them, because they going to look after them after they, what we do, you have to be careful that you don't cast not your pearls among swine. Jesus said that.
Yes, sir.
You don't do that.
Yes.
So the committee if you say you own a light bill, we know where the Alabama Power Company is. They just go down and pay the light bill. If they want food, they go down to the store and get some for them. And so that's a better way than giving them, to help them.
Right.
They may need some food, but if it gets some folk, and I love everybody.
I'm a sort of a recent member of Franchise Missionary Baptist Church. We got married to a member of this church, and we moved away but came back. And since I've been here, I've been just sheltered by this church and loved by this church and Pastor Cochran. He's a great minister. If there's any situation in our lives, he's always there for us, especially when you have to go to the hospital. He's there with you. Even if a member of your family is not a member of this church, Pastor Cochran's there for you. And I've done some things for us, especially for me, made history last year where he ordained me and 2 other ladies as deacons of this church. So I appreciate that him striving to be the kind of person that I should be as a deacon, serving the members of this church, supporting Pastor in all of his endeavors. So I love him, and we're celebrating 51 years as pastor here in November. He's a great pastor. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else but right here serving and worshiping with the people of this church. Great pastor. Thank you.
Dr. Cochran, I want to thank you for allowing us to come in here to sit down. You share your life story. We thank you for your many years of ministry here in Phoenix City, 51 years. We're all proud of you and the work you've done. Although we're over here in the original building, but you do have a new sanctuary, and I heard that this spot over here is very, very dear to your heart. And but we want to thank you again, and you're such a blessing. And I just want to say, God bless you.
God bless you and your people, your staff, and your station. God continue to bless
Yes.
the owner, in which I love very much. I have a lot of respect for the man that owned this.
Yes.
A lot of respect.
Praise God.
And I want him to know I appreciate all that he has done in my family and other families.
Praise
God
God.
bless you.
Praise God. God bless you. So we have been here paying tribute to Dr. Raymond Cochran of Franchise Missionary Baptist Church. Again, this ministry is a pillar in the community. Also, you can see Dr. Cochran in Franchise Missionary Church on CTV Beam as well here on Channel 7. So thank you again for tuning in and following with us. And we're going to let him hold this. You like it, I hope?
I like it.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Thank you. God bless you. We'll appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. You've been watching it here on Cable TV.